in this pandemic, people are starving, people are sick, people don't have healthcare, housing, education, all of the basics. And Biden's coming into that situation, and he has an opportunity to sort of make a moral choice. From your perspective and from, WFP, like what are those things, maybe even one or two things in the first year that he can do that would squarely put him on the side of the working class?
Absolutely. I mean, we need a massive federal jobs program where everyone who needs a job can get a job, and we need that right away. And there are many ways that we can do that with public works. There are things in the Green New Deal, right? There are things from our past. Like, I keep thinking about the theater community and what does it look like to do a federal theater project and federal writers project again? It is not things that we have to, it's not new things that we have to do. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I think that a massive jobs program, which is something we were all afraid that Trump was going to do, to be honest, because he had all this talk. It was going to be a white nationalist jobs program, but he was talking about jobs. And so I think that's, for me, like a number one thing you can do. People are suffering. People have been suffering before the pandemic, and give everybody a job who needs one, period, full stop, the end. And the other thing I think is really, I think we need to take this kind of care narrative beyond. We talk about this in our People's Charter. It's centered around care, is that it's not just about healthcare anymore. It's about when I think about kids going back and forth to school in New York City, and I think about the care that parents need that for their children because they're home with their kid, right? Like, public care needs to be a completely reinvestment into that's our healthcare system, our nursing home systems. Like, it should be from the cradle to the grave that we take care of people. And so I think that we need to look at organizations like National Domestic Workers that we work closely with, who have been pushing an economy of care. And I think those are the two things. If we can do those two things, there can be a lot happening for everyone.
Yeah. What do you care? You mean what if there was universal pre-K or
universal pre-K? Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's so basic. It's we're talking a lot about student debt. I know there's a big conversations right now about, eliminating student debt. And I think Biden's even flirting with numbers like 50,000, which is good enough. I think that's good. That's a huge, and hopefully it's not. I mean, you can't really means test that. It's just up to 50,000. Great. Absolved. But I also think universal pre-K could be one of those things that's like a lightning rod, boom, here, you get this. Everyone gets this.
Yep.
Universal
pre-K and universal elder care. Sorry. I think that's the thing too, is that elder, we've seen what the state of our nursing homes are in. My grandfather died in one a few years ago, and you see the state that they're in, that they can't even help their own, a spread in a nursing home because the facilities are so, broken. And so what does elderly care that is universal look like for anybody who needs it?
Absolutely. That would be huge. I mean, exactly. Talk about steady voters, just like the olds. They vote. Give them care. Give them the care.
First ones out there usually.
Yep.
Oh man, you remember the woman? I forgot her name, but she had some wonderful, early 1900s name, like Norma or, Theodora, and she was just wearing a hazmat suit and went to go vote by mail. Just a queen. Just love her.